right, well, I think we'll go ahead and get started, and hopefully I'll kind of continue fielding people as they're reaching out. But I do want to just honor and be respectful of everybody's time here today. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Ty to go ahead and get us started.
Yeah. Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today as we officially launch this CarePortal in Tulare County. Again, my name is Ty Davis. I'm the Executive Director of Reaching Higher, and we are so excited to be the local implementing partner of CarePortal. Reaching Higher is a faith-based collaborative organization that introduces true hope to all kids. And we have the ultimate vision that all people know the true hope of Jesus Christ, families are strengthened, and communities are transformed. And one way we get to bring hope to our community is through the implementation of CarePortal, which is a tool that connects the local church to the needs of vulnerable children. And I just want to take a second to thank Angel Armies and CarePortal for their financial support to bring CarePortal to Tulare County. And also a special thank you to our first requesting agencies. So Tulare County Health and Human Services and AspiraNet, both of which you guys will hear from today. And I also want to just thank our initial partnering churches who have been utilizing CarePortal this last month as a pilot. It has been so amazing to see this take place. And so Sunrise Community Church, Tulare Community Church, Tulare First Baptist, Pipeline Church, Neighborhood Church, and Springville Lighthouse Chapel. Special thanks to those who jumped on early with us in this process. And in this brief Zoom call, you're going to hear from both our agency, our church partners. You're going to learn how CarePortal works and leave knowing what next steps you can take to help care for every child in need here in Tulare County. And we're going to start this by inviting Pastor Russ Siders from Sunrise Community Church to open our time together with prayer. So Russ, would you take it away?
Thank you, Ty. I invite you to pray. Loving God, we thank you for this opportunity to celebrate, and we thank you for the partnership. You are about building bridges with us, and I am grateful that we can build bridges in our community between agencies, faith-based organizations, and especially, Lord, to see a bridge built to families and children in need. I pray, God, that you will continue to bless this partnership, give us great courage and wisdom to work with one another in ways that will benefit our entire community. And I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Awesome. Thank you, Pastor Russ, for just reminding us really why we're here and we get to do this work. My name is Claire Hall, and I am the Child Resource Advocate for Reaching Higher, and I get to also serve as the Regional Manager for CarePortal in Tulare County. So I'll be facilitating our time together today. So I first want to invite Courtney Salam, who is the Deputy Director of Child Welfare for Tulare County HHSA, to share a few words about the need here in Tulare County and how CarePortal supports the work of social workers in our community. So Courtney, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, well, thank you all. I wanted to just start out thanking Claire for inviting me to this and having a few moments to just share a little bit of how we even came to this collaboration with CarePortal. First, thank you for letting me share this space with you. It's definitely a pleasure. There's been so much negativity within this last year, I believe, and just being able to really partner with this collaboration just really speaks to nothing but pure joy for me. I wanted to share some initial thoughts about this collaboration. When it was first presented to me, it was actually presented through my sister, Miriam Salam. She works for COS. She oversees two programs that work directly with former foster youth. And she was actually given an opportunity to learn about this program through a community partner, and was just really excited to share that CarePortal existed. So when she initially shared this information about this organization, I was immediately sold. She and I both share a deep passion for child welfare and for serving our community. Miriam herself was a former foster youth, and I was previously her relative caretaker at a very young age. And so her and myself and my younger sibling, we share a really deep passion for child welfare and just the needs of the community. And so when this was brought to light, I was super excited. But didn't know how it was going to be implemented within child welfare. And so, of course, I meditated and prayed on, how do we make this work, Lord? And what does this really look like? And I didn't have to do much because it happened very fast. I was promoted into an executive position, and then CarePortal reached out and really just shared their mission and how do you turn away something that really speaks to what child welfare really represents. The mission of CarePortal of wrapping a child with circles of care just is exactly what child welfare should be doing, and we are doing in a way, but we know that we can't do it without our collaborative partners. But one of our biggest partners has always been the church. And fortunately, here in Tulare County, we've had an overwhelming amount of churches really step up, but never in a way that it was strategic and in this way. And so when it was presented to us, how it works and what it really looks like, it was definitely a win-win. And so I think about years to come and how this is going to really impact the children that we serve within this community. And I think about years in the past where I've had this seed was planted within me, working for child welfare as a field worker, and just knowing that the church has so much to offer. But how did we really get that bridge to meet? And so I am overjoyed to know that now that it's here and it's already doing what it speaks that it says it's going to do. And we are very fortunate to have both Claire, and you'll see Vianney Moreno is on. She works for Tulare County Child Welfare, and she has been instrumental in making sure that it has got out to our social workers. And so this work is obviously not just to support children, but it also supports families as well. And because we are really surrounded by rural areas, it really helps to really meet that need, because a lot of time child welfare is required to intervene, but not necessarily would they have to intervene if certain needs were met. And that's not always easy to do without having those needs in the community to be able to step up and do so. And now we are just super excited. I am thrilled. I can't tell you how much it's been a pleasure to really share this opportunity with you all and for child welfare. So I just want to take a second and just share some, if I can, share my screen. I don't know if it's going to let me.
I did.
Let me see. Oops. Oh, it's asking me to share. What I really wanted to just share and get at a glance, and it's not really going to let me on my end, is really just kind of giving a picture of children within care. So at any given time within Tulare County, we have anywhere between 12 to 1,400 children in care. And that really is broken down by ages. So I'm going to break down a big piece of the pie is that 0 to 5 age group. And so that I would say that's like about a fourth of that pie. And then we have our 6 to 9 age group, our 10 to 14, and then 15 and older. And so you can guess how much of the need is there. That's children in care. That's not the children that are at risk. Those are actual children in care and those age groups. And so we know that without the support of the community and the church, that this number can continue to grow. We also know that now that we have this support, this number can decrease. And that is really the mission of CarePortal and Reaching Higher, is to really try to eradicate the need out there. And so I am super grateful that Claire has invited me, and I just want to express gratitude to you all also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Courtney. There is clearly a really big need, 12 to 1,400 children in care at any time in Tulare County. But I also want to share that there is really good news. We have an entire community full of churches, businesses, organizations, and individuals, many of you who are all on this call, that care about kids and want to help. So we're going to talk a little bit about just what CarePortal is and how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you. So what you're seeing, Courtney actually mentioned these. These are the circles of care. And the circles of care help us to understand the why behind the work we are doing with CarePortal. So first and foremost, notice that the child is at the center of everything. CarePortal exists to create a meaningful connection between the community, church, and family, ultimately caring for vulnerable children. And we believe that every child matters. And when we can bring the local care through the local church to local children, we really can radically transform the lives of those touched by the child welfare system. So just exactly how does CarePortal work? So every single day, local agencies like HHSA and Aspiranet, who we'll hear from in a minute, uncover the physical needs of children and families that they serve. These trained professionals then input a request of a vetted need into CarePortal on behalf of the family. CarePortal then alerts our local churches via email and community responders in real time, giving them a chance to respond and connect directly with the family. I do want to highlight that when a connection is made through CarePortal, the local church is always at the point of care. The church actually has a unique scriptural calling to care for the orphan, and CarePortal is a tool to mobilize the church to live out this mandate. So when businesses and individuals respond to a need, CarePortal will automatically connect them to a local church to help facilitate that connection, and that's called a connecting church. So what kind of needs might be requested via CarePortal? Well, it's helpful first to kind of step back and understand that there are unique needs at every point of the child welfare system. So whether they're a physical need, relational, or familial need, we can support the children before they enter into the system, while they are in foster care, through adoption, and as they transition out of care. Right now, CarePortal is implemented to help meet the physical needs of children at any point in that child welfare system, so that it will help stabilize the environment and the environment of the children and their caregivers. So you'll see here the 5 most common requests that come through CarePortal nationwide. Beds, that #1 request, are such a fundamental need to improve a child's well-being and are often necessary in order to make a foster placement. These are physical items that many people in our community already own or have the funds to purchase them for the child in need. Again, the connection is always made via the local church. But if you're an individual or business in the community that wants to help, you can. While you can provide the physical items to a connecting church, you can also fund a request, which will actually send money that you give directly to a connecting church that has a CarePortal card. And then that church can actually use those funds to purchase the items and provide that need and connect directly with the family. So let's take a quick look at what all of this looks like. So on your screen, you'll see a sample request. This was a real request. And when a request is submitted, an email with this information will be sent out to all of the local churches and community responders. You'll see at the top a bold statement will always tell you the purpose of the request. So in this case, it was to help improve a child's well-being, followed by a story advocating for the family's need. On the side, you'll see what the specific items are that are needed. There's also a map that's going to show the general location of the need. Everything is done by zip code and what churches were notified of the request. This is going to give the community a chance to collaborate together, but also ensures that the family makes a local, non-agency connection that can continue on into the future. Once responders do say that they can help, their responses are recorded and the church gets connected back to the social worker who submitted their request to begin facilitating the connection with the family. So ultimately, CarePortal is meant to help vulnerable children and families, but it also serves the child welfare workers by connecting them to a caring community, eager to provide them with support and resources to be more effective and efficient. And CarePortal helps churches and organizations who want to help, but often don't know how. So at the end of our time together today, you'll actually have the chance to see and meet a live request that just came into CarePortal today. But before we get to that, we get to hear from another requesting agency, Aspiranet, and their experience having a need met via CarePortal. Lauren Guilfoy is the core program director for the transition age youth at Aspiranet, and Kayla Vargas, who I'm not sure if I saw her yet, but is hopefully on this call, is a social worker with her as well. So ladies, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, Claire. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for such a warm introduction. We are so excited to be working with CarePortal. As Claire had mentioned, I'm Lauren Guilfoy. I'm a program director for Aspirinet's transitional housing programs for young adults aging out of foster care. Our agency as a whole provides a variety of supportive services, including foster and adoption services and behavioral and mental health services. I can specifically speak to our transition services for youth aging out of the foster care system. I'll try not to be too wordy so that I can give Kayla a minute or two to speak about her direct experience having a need met. But I just wanted to say how fortunate we feel to be connected with CarePortal. While so far there's been many things that have stood out to me, like the ease of use, how rapid the responses come in. What has really had the most impact so far is the personal connection for our young adults. Quite often when we work with donors, we're working with a business or an agency and not necessarily an individual. Usually it's a behind the scenes event, and our young adults never really have the chance to connect the outside support they receive to an actual person. And with CarePortal, our young adults may get the chance to meet and see the actual human being or beings who are helping them out. Even if it's just a 30-second interaction, it's something that I know sticks with them through our conversations that we've had so far. The young adults we work with have faced and overcome a lot of adversity in their life, and sometimes they might feel like there's not much support out there for them. So when they see that this complete stranger is willing to lend a helping hand, that impact goes far beyond whatever tangible item they may receive. Essentially, even though we're just getting started, our experience with CarePortal has been amazing so far, and I can't wait to continue this partnership. So Kayla, I'll let you take a minute or two to talk about your experience having a need met.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kayla Vargas. I am a life coach with Aspirinet for our transitional aged youth division. And overall, our experience with CarePortal for the first time was awesome, to say the least. It was amazing. I had just received a client who was brand new to our program, and just had a need for a couch for their new living area. And it's just a need to make them feel more comfortable in their new environment. So it's the first time that they're on their own. It's very exciting, but could also be a little nerve-wracking. So anything that we could do to make them feel more comfortable in this new environment means a lot. So we were introduced to CarePortal, and we're like, this is a perfect opportunity to try and utilize this resource. So I put in a request. I did the brief summary of the situation and such, and the response was so quick. It was amazing. Was linked with a church very quickly, and we were able to link up and share some information and a time and day to do the exchange. And the exchange was just wonderful. The church members were extremely nice, very kind. The youth was extremely happy, extremely excited. They were already ready to go, had everything moved and out of the way, so it was easier to facilitate the handoff. And through this interaction, like as Lauren was saying, a lot of times they may not see, the behind the scenes actions that go into, the things that we do to provide for them. This time, this youth is able to see that. And it was just amazing because they ended up connecting, they ended up sharing information. And as I said, this youth was new to our program. They were also new to the community. So they actually opened up and they had an opportunity to exchange information so that the youth had people to reach out to, people to talk to, and just build that connection within their community that they would not have if it were not for CarePortal. So again, super duper very happy for CarePortal and all that they've provided so far, and it's just amazing. So thank you again.
Thank you, Kayla and Lauren, so much for sharing. We are really grateful for your partnership, but we are especially just thankful for the everyday work that you are doing to care for these transition age youth and foster kiddos and their families. So thank you so much, and thanks for sharing, and we look forward to continuing to serve your clients in the future. So next, we're going to have an opportunity to hear from a church responder who has had the privilege to connect with and serve a family via CarePortal. Michael Hickey serves as the primary point person at Sunrise Community Church. So Michael, would you begin by sharing with us what the CarePortal request was for, and then how the church rallied together to meet that need?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Claire. So we received a request via CarePortal for a property cleanup. And I shot that request out to our team, got an immediate response that said, hey, yes, let's see what we can do to help them out. In the meantime, Pipeline Church out of Isaiah had also said that they would assist. And so I was able to get with a primary point person from Pipeline. We exchanged numbers, got in contact with each other, and started talking about how we were going to go about this. We ended up getting with Ophelia from the county. She was able to set up a meeting for us to go out to the property. It was in east of Isaiah, quite of a large property, not too large, but a large property out there. And the property was overwhelmed with a lot of clutter. Over the years, just stuff being put out there because there's a lot of area just thrown out there, and it got a little overwhelming for this lady who has 2 small children and is caring for her 98-year-old grandfather as well. So it's actually his property. He's been there for over 70 something years. And it was just a little too overwhelming for her. So she needed some help in cleaning that up. So when we got out there to the site, I got to be honest with you, it was when we first looked at it, it did seem a little overwhelming, and we were wondering how we were going to be able to do this for them. But we were able to find out a specific area that we needed to work on in order to keep that cluttered area clear for those kids, the 2 smaller kids. And so the meeting was great. We got to meet the mom and the children, and it was the gentleman from Pipeline, myself, and then Ophelia from the county. And so we set it up. We had it set up for this last Saturday, March 20th. We got out there, and it was just overwhelming on the people that came out, both from Sunrise, from Pipeline. They brought trailers. We had a dumpster out from the county that provided, and we just got to work. And one of our members from Sunrise put it perfect. She said, God sent problem solvers, hard workers, and problem solvers. And we went out there, and what I thought was going to be a daunting task was just one of the most joyous experiences that I have ever felt. We got to interact with the kids. We interacted with the mom. They were there with us the entire time. She was assisting, just making sure that we didn't throw anything away that wasn't supposed to be thrown away. But it was just an awesome experience. And a Pipeline really showed up with, they had some additional trailers. We filled up the dumpster. We filled up the trailers 2, 3, 4 times each. We're able to dump them in a different part of the property, because most of that we were filling those trailers were just green waste and stuff like that, stuff that we didn't have to put in the dumpster. And Pipeline even went so far as to help on an additional part of the property and get some stuff. So they didn't just dump the stuff. They ended up taking 2 trailers full of stuff that they were going to dump on their own to help her out. So shout out to Pipeline for doing that. It was awesome. But one of the best things that, happened all day was, once we were getting towards the end of it and getting it all cleaned up, I had several people reach up to me and say, okay, so we see what's going on at this other side of the property. What happens there? Okay. We know we did this part, but what happens on this other side? Can we come out and help her out if she needs additional help to clean up the remainder of the property? Because it is quite a good sized property. So it wasn't just, get in there, do your job, get out. I had people reaching out asking about how to even help even more. So truly, truly an awesome experience. One of the teenagers was able to make a nice connection with the daughter, and the daughter was asking about the church, you know, and where we came from, which church and all that. And that's ultimately what we want, right? Is for them to engage, ask those questions, and hopefully we can, you know, bring her into, you know, Pipeline, because Pipeline is based in Visalia, which is a little bit closer for her. Just the interaction with the kids, the little boy was awesome. He was all over the place, helping out as much as he could. And just truly a blessing to be able to help this family out and pick up, clean up the property that was requested. So just awesome.
Wow. Mike, thank you so much. I was kind of holding back tears there. I want to share one more tidbit of information. Well, two actually. The request was originally for 6 people to come help. And between the 2 churches, I think they rallied about 20 people who showed up to meet this need. And the second thing, the purpose of the initial request was to help prevent a child from entering into foster care. So this was something that had to happen for the child to stay with this family. And I followed up with the caseworker, and she said the case is now closed, that this action was enough to keep that child from being taken from their family. And so if you are like me, you're probably sitting here right now like, wow, God is doing really big things. I really want to be a part of it. So I'm going to share with you just briefly about what some next steps might be for you, depending on the role that you have. And so I will send a follow-up email to you with these kind of general next steps for you, but right now I'll go over them, and then we'll end our time together with some real needs that you can look at and respond to right now. So first and foremost, if you are a church attender or a church leader, talk to your leadership about getting your church enrolled in CarePortal so that you can, just like Mike, help make meaningful connections in the community. If you are a child serving agency or a school worker or another child serving nonprofit and you'd like to actually submit requests into CarePortal, we have an enrollment process and training I can get you set up with on that. If you are an individual who just really cares and wants to be a part of this, but you're not a part of a church, you can sign up as a community responder and you'll get the email alerts. And then when you respond, it will automatically connect you to a church that will help facilitate that connection. And if you are a business or other organization that's not a church that wants to meet needs, you can sign up as a community responder to meet needs with the support of a local church as well. You also have the opportunity to just sponsor the use of the CarePortal platform. So again, keep an eye out for an email that will have kind of next steps for you. But I want to end our time together with what CarePortal is all about, and that is caring for vulnerable children. So right now, I'm going to drop into the chat box for you some links. We have 3, if I can find the chat box somewhere. Let me stop sharing and I'll send that to you. There it is. So these are 3 requests that came through, 2 today, one from AspiraNet and one from HHSA, and these are real-time vetted needs of local children and families. So I encourage you to take a moment to read through the request, decide maybe you are able to respond. If you are brand new to the system, it'll prompt you to input an email and get signed up. But if you are already a part of a church, you should be able to respond if you can help. And maybe right now responding isn't what you can do, but I do want to encourage you to revisit this request later today or tomorrow or this weekend and just see how the community responds. I think it's so encouraging to see sometimes, just like Kayla had mentioned, how quickly people want to help, but also just the overwhelming support. So go ahead, follow those links if you're able. I'm going to just quick share my screen with you to show you what you're going to be looking at if you're not in a position to click that link right now. This is one of the requests to help support a youth aging out. So coming from AspiraNet here, and this is actually a need, high urgency request. They are in need of a $50 Uber gift card to get to an important medical appointment because they're starting a job soon. So this is a lot to celebrate with this youth, but definitely a need, an obstacle that is a big one for them, but a small one for all of us to be able to help. So if you can help meet that need, go ahead and click yes, I can help. Another request that we just had come through our HHSA is for some cleaning supplies for a family that has 2 special needs children and in need of constant supervision, and their home could just really use some TLC. So 2 requests right now, all about the child, all about caring for the family. If you are able to respond, please do. But like I said, I hope that you'll just at least check back to and see what the community is up to. So all of that to be said, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so encouraged by the turnout. Thanks for bearing with the invalid Zoom links. You all made it. And just thank you to everybody in Tulare County who does want to help transform the lives of children and families impacted by child welfare. My email is on the screen. If you want to reach out and keep talking, I would love to do so, and we'll continue this conversation. I'll be in touch via email, but from here on out, you are free to go. Thank you so much. Thank you to our partners, our church partners, and for everybody joining us here today. I'm excited to see how we can keep caring for kids. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, Claire.